Alright, good day listeners. Today we'll be talking about some basic terms we need to know in Python programming. We are going to do some simple application. First, I will not forget to tell you that we are using a Jupyter notebook for our code, web-based code editor. If you check what Jupyter notebook is, you will see that Jupyter notebook is a project develop open source software. Okay, it's an open standard and service for interactive computing across multiple programming platforms or languages. Okay, it was spawned off from Python in the year 2014. So we will be using Jupyter notebook for our code editor. So Python programming is very sweet, and if you check what Python programming is, you will know that it's a multi-purpose programming language. Yeah, Python programming language is a high-level general-purpose programming language. Its design philosophy emphasizes on coding readability with the use of significant indentation. So by the time we continue coding, you will notice that indentation is one of its significant So it emphasizes on that so much. It's something that when you are coding, your coding should be well aligned. Okay, your coding should be structured. Your code should be structured. Okay, take for instance, if we are defining a function here, if I say I define a function, I say multiple or multiply, for instance, I call this function multiply. Okay, don't forget when you are defining a function, you see by default, immediately I hit enter. Let me zoom it so that you can see my code very well. Okay, immediately I hit enter here, it indent it. You see the space from here down to this place, it automatically indent it. That means your code should start from here. So we are going to write a program that return the sum of two values. Okay, we're going to write a program that returns the sum of two values. Okay, let's say or the multiplication of two values. Yes, take for instance, and that's okay, return 5 times x. Okay, we are going to use this x as a variable, so it therefore means that we'll pass s here as an argument. Okay, now what will come here when I say enter, you see, because we are using return keywords, automatically the next indentation now start from what? From the base. Okay, I'll now come and say sum as a sum value as a variable is equals to, we'll call this function called multiply, as you see here. We'll call this function here. I will now pass a variable x. Let's say s is 10. Okay, if we now come here and now say okay, print sum var as our value. If I run this code, what is the total? It gives us what? 50. Okay, if I change this 5 to 10 to 20 or 30, it will give us 150. Therefore mean that 30 times 5 is what? 150. This is simple coding. Okay, now let me not forget, I told you that we are going to define a simple calculator. Okay, that's a calculator using Python programming. Okay, we're going to design a simple calculator. What I'm going to do here, I'm going to design this calculator in 3 different formats or methods. So I want you to follow, choose any of these that is convenient for you and use it for your learning. Okay, first I want to define a variable. I say num1 as a variable. Num1 as number 1 is equals to, okay, pass it to int, because we are going to pass in int as an input. Input is also a function in Python. Now what are we enter? I say entering. Say enter a number here, for instance. Okay, That when we enter that number, we should be able to get another value. All I need here is just to change the second variable name. I'll call this one num2, okay? Num2, okay? Now, if I run this code here, by default, because we are using input, it will pop up an input text area for me where I can enter what? A value. If I enter 7, it will give me another one, which is for second value. I'll enter what? Another value here. You see it? Because we have not passed some parameters here of the value that it should return or print for us. That is why it's showing this error. It's an invalidated row int with base 10. Okay? Don't worry about this error. We're going to fix it. Now, if I proceed now, it's okay. Result is equals to we say okay, num1 times num2, like this, like we have as a variable here. Okay, I can now come and ask, okay, print result, which we have defined as our variable. Print this result. Okay, so when we run this value, if I come here and I say 20 first value for 12, see them? So it's now multiplying this value. We can dynamic by another method, we can change the keywords, the operator here to plus. If I come here and I say 20 plus 20, it will return 40. Are you getting it? If I come here and change the operator to minus and run the code, 30 plus 30, it will return what? 30 minus 30, sorry, it will return what? 0. Okay? But we don't want it this way. This is more or less like an analog. Okay? We want to develop a dynamic calculator whereby we don't need to be changing these keywords like this anytime we want to do sum a value or multiply a value. Okay? So we want to do something dynamic. Okay? So I'm going to come here. Let me put a header. I say a dynamic calculator using Python. Okay? Now what we're going to do here now, I want to define a function. So remember, if we are going to use this function method, okay, this is, we have done first one. This is method 1. Let me not forget. I'm going to title this one method 1. Okay, why this one is method 2? Method 2. Okay, now if I come here and define a function, okay, remember this function is going to either return the sum of two value minus the sum of two value, multiply the sum of two value, or divide the sum of what? Two value. Now I'm going to define a function. I call it add value. I pass it to what? Two argument, x comma what? Y, which is first number and second number. For instance, I say return x plus y. That is one function. What this function does, it return the sum of two values. Okay. Now again, I define another function. I call it let's say subtract sub value. Okay. I define as a variable name. I say x comma what? Y. As a function, I hit enter here. Now we are going to return. We're going to return x because it's subtracting minus y. Okay. What this function does is return. It will return. Let me comment it. Sorry. It will return the subtracted value of two values. Okay. Now again, I define another function. I call it multiply value Okay, we are passing x comma y to it. Okay, now we say okay, return x times y. You see that it's not different from what we have all done so far. We define another function, we call it a div value. Division value. Now say s comma what y, and it should return x divided by what y. That is what it should return for us. Okay, we're having this function now defined already. Now, since we successfully defined this function, okay, I want us to do something unique here. What I want us to do here is going to be something different from what you might be used to. So what I want to do here, I want to print some statement here. Print choose, or I can say select operation, anyone. Select operators, okay. Print select operator, and also print that when user chooses a should I use a? Let's use value. Let's use number. Sorry. When user chooses one mean addition. Okay, and also print that when user chooses two mean subtraction. And when user also chooses enter 3 as value, 3 stands for what? Multiplication. Okay, and again lastly print that when user chooses 4 as value, 4 stands for what? Division. Okay, now we have all these print statement ready here. Now let's take input from user. Okay, let's take input from user. Now what are those inputs they have to choose? Let's say define a variable called choice of value, or choice of value equals to. Now when user chooses this choice of value, we are going to know what they are choosing. I will answer, okay, since they are using number, pass it to int in the primitive function of input. Okay, now this int, I can decide to use int per se, it's not bad. Okay, now come here and I say, now because we are using double quotation, remember inside this quotation, because we are making reference, giving priority to 1, 2, 3 and 4 as our value of choice or choices. Now I'm going to do something here. I'm going to say, okay, enter your choice, and your choice here is going to look like this. Okay, the choice now, because we are giving priority to this value, we now say the choices are 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are the choices. Okay, we have these as the choices. Now since that is understood, we now come down here and say, okay, we are going to define the two value that users are to sum, multiply, divide or subtract. And I say number 1, like we did before, is equals to int, pass it to input function. And I say pass a statement, say enter the first value or first number, anyone. Okay, enter your first number. Then since it's the same thing we are going to do, we need to change the variable name. We are called this one num2. Enter the second number. Okay, now users, by the time they run this code, something like this will pop up. If I run this code now, look at it. You see the way it print the statement for me. Select operator. Okay, select operator. 1 addition, 2 subtraction, 3 multiplication, 4 division. And I say enter your choice. If I enter 1 now, and I say enter the first number, I say 20, enter the second number, I say 30. You see, it didn't return any error, and it didn't give me the sum of this two value because we have not given it a command on what to do. Look at this spelling where there's error here. I want to correct it. Sorry about that. Now we'll continue. Next, what I want us to do here, let's pass it to a control flow using a conditional statement. Okay, I say if the choice of value, this choice of value here, if this choice of value is equals to and equals to double equals to 1, it should do something. It should print that our num1, remember, which is this value here, this num1, print that num1, comma, let's do something here so that it will look fine, plus, okay, comma, num2, okay, will now be equal to, put equals to sign here so that it will show where, that's a comma, yeah. We now pass our function. What is our function here? It's called what? Add value, and this is to return what? The two value that we are entering. And now come here and I say pass it to this function which is add, and this add is now taking the argument which is what? num1 comma what? num2, which are these two value. num1, it will return the sum of this num1 comma what? num2. So if I save this code now and rerun it again, look at it. It show me the selected operators. I say okay, I want to choose 1. I say enter the first value. I say 10. 10 plus 10 will give me what? Okay, hold on. There's error here. There's error. Okay, let's fix this. Let's fix this. Let's fix this as soon as possible. Now, okay, I've seen it. Now, what we see here, look at it here. This is the error. This is what I did here. It's not supposed to be so. Okay, yeah. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. This is the correct format of the code. Yeah, if we try it again, I will now say enter 1, 10 plus 10, you return what? 20. You see the sum. 10 plus 10 return what? 20. You see them? Okay, that is what we've been able to do. Similarly, we're going to do that for the same value for that of a minus, and also that of what? Division, and that of what? Multiplication. If value is equals to 2, it should return, the second one is what? Multiplication, sorry, subtraction. When I say minus, now equals to, we'll call the function name, it's called what? Subtract. And I put the word subtract here. So also, if value is equals to 3, it should multiply it for us. Change the symbol sign, and also the multiplication sign function is what? Mult value. We change it here. It's just simple thing. We come again. The last one is 4. If value is equals to 4, that is division sign. Put division sign here, and our function name is called div_var. Okay, we pass it here. Our code is ready. It's just a simple calculation. Okay, first we define a function called add_var. We pass two arguments s, y, and return the value s, y, s plus y. Then division sign, the same thing, multiplication, and also all the operators will pass it. Now here we print a statement telling the user that look at what this application does. When you choose 1, you are summing. When you choose 2, you are subtracting. When you choose 3, you are multiplying. When you choose 4, you are doing division. So choose the one you want to make use of. You now define a variable called here choice of value. Pass it to input. Say 1, 2, 3. These are the choices. You define two inputs here, which is the sum of two values s and y. Let's assume this is x and this is what? Y. Okay, enter the first value, which is s. Enter the second value, which is what? Y. Choice. If choice of value is equals to 1, print that num1 plus num2 and return the value, the sum. If choice of value is equals to 2, print that num1 minus num2, return the value sum here. The same thing applies to multiplication, the same thing applies to the division. Now that our code is ready, let's run the code and see how it works. Okay, let's be concise about the look. Alright, now that our code is ready, I want to concise the spaces. Alright, good. Now I want to run this code. Now it has displayed select operator. I want to sum. We have done that of one, which is addition. I want to choose 2 this time around, which is multiplication. It say enter the first value, and I say 100 minus 50. What will it give me? You see, 100 minus 50 is equals to what? 50. Let's try that of what? Multiplication. I choose 3 as my operator. Okay, enter the first value, and I say 10 times 20. It give me what? 200. You see? It's a simple calculator. Let's try that of division. I choose 4. Okay, and I say 20 minus 10. It give me what? 20 divided by 10. It give me what? 2.0. Okay, it's floating. It's working with floating point. We can change this by the time we can decide to come here and say, okay, pass it to what? Int. Okay, if I pass this to int now, we find out that float will live there. Okay, if I come now and run again number 4, I say 20 divided by 10. You see that it will give me what? 2. Okay, you can do that to every other one. Int will make it give you a value without what? Float point. Okay, I can as well change it to what? Float. You see, Python is very robust. Okay, it has a lot of functionality. If I say float now, I run that same value again, 20 divided by 10. You see that it give me 2.0. Okay, that is another way you can what? Change your display value. Okay, as you progress on the advanced format, advanced function in Python, you begin to see some function called format, where we are talking about machine learning, doing some model in talking about RGB model, and then building model and some algorithm. We're using some formats to format our tests, and you can still do that here, but at this elementary level, let's be limited to this for now. Now, this is the second what? Method in doing our calculator. Okay, now the third method I want us to look at is this. Now, if I come here, I have something like this, which is the third method. Don't forget, we've done the first one, which is the analog, second one, and also the third one. Now, the third one goes like this. It's very simple. I like this too. Now, if I come here and I say fn, which is the first number, is equals to int. Okay, I'll pass it to our input function. Don't forget. And I say this int is saying, okay, enter first number. Okay, number. Let me complete it right up. Okay, now the same thing applicable to our second value, which is called Sn, which is what? Second number. Now this second number, we have defined 2 variables now. First input, second what? Input, which is Fn, first number, Sn, second number. Now, since we have successfully defined these 2 variables, if I run this code, you see, it give me first number, enter value, second number, enter value. You see? Now, the code is what? Working. Now, let's proceed. We need options from users. Define a variable, call it option, pass it to what? Input. Since we are taking input from user, when I say your enter operator determine what you are going to use. Enter your operator. Let's say enter. Sorry, double quotation or single quotation, anyone. Enter your operator. Sorry, operator. Okay, enter your operator. Okay, now we've been able to define these options. Now, after we have defined this option, there's something I want us to do, almost similar to what we did before, but there's a little twerking here. We are going to twerk it small. Now, I will now come and say if option, these options here, like you see here, if this option is equals to this time around, we are now doing it in a different way. It's equals to what? Plus, like this. If it is equals to plus, it should print something to us. And what it should print is that, let's print a statement that the addition of, addition of this, which is Fn, first number, comma, and second number SN we are trying to do for formatting is, now this is where we do our what addition. Now say FN plus what SN. That is that. Very simple. If I run this code now, sorry, there's error here, sorry, don't be offended. What we are seeing here, okay, this is the error, I've seen it. Now if you look at the code here, we said that if option is equals to plus, okay, sum these two values and give it to us. Okay, all right, the first one is FN, the second one is what SN. Now our code is a bit okay, it's fine, yeah, it's fine, it's fine. There's something I want us to add to it. What are we making mistake here? We define a function here, pass SN, FN plus this and this. Okay, yeah, look at the error here. There's supposed to be a comma here before the other one. Now the code is set. If I come here now, I say enter the first number, I say 12, second number 12. Okay, which operator are we summing? Yes, we say we are summing. I put plus. So I say 12 and 12 is what? 24. You get it now? So I can change the statement to say plus. Okay, if I run this code again, 10 and 10, which operator plus? 10 plus 10 is what? 20. See how this one works? It's almost the same thing we are going to do with every other what operators. Okay, the same thing, just the same thing. Sorry. Okay, we come here again, we do that, we come here again, we do that for minus, I will come here, we change this one to what? Minus. For multiplication, put multiplication here. I will come here, we change this one to what? Multiplication. You see that this one, we are not dealing with what function. For division, we change this one to division. Now we come here, we change this one to what? Division. Okay? With this, our code is set. Okay? Our code is what? Set. Now, if I run this code now, I put 10 or 12 plus 12, or let's use multiplication. 12 times 12 now, I put sign. Now say 12 plus 12, it will 44 because we are using the word plus, sorry. So since it's multiplication, I say 12 multiply 12 times. I'll use 12 times. I will come here 12 divided by, okay, I'll use this one 12 minus, okay, we have changed the keyword now. Okay, if I come here and say 90 minus 10, because we are using minus, I'll use minus. You say 90 minus 10 is what? 80. So also if we come here and say 100 divided by 10, I'll use division sign here. You say 100 divided by 10 is what? 10. So the application, the calculator is working perfectly well. You can go extensively to make it more interactive, or let it show us an error message. Let's say for instance, user come here and without entering any operator, what should he do? We have been using if. There's another function in Python called elif, that is if, okay, elif, it's called elifs. As if this option that we are seeing here, this option, supposing the option, elif, if option is not equals to option, okay, what should it tell us? It should return a message and tell us that, hey, choose or select the right operator. Okay, select the right operator. Okay, X, it should print something. Yes, X, it should print something. Maybe can leave it as empty. Now if I come here now, I choose 10 plus 10. Instead of me to put plus, and I go and put x, you see, enter your operator. Okay, now in a situation whereby we don't want this thing to break, we can wrap it in a loop. Yes, we can decide to wrap it in a loop, but that will be the next lecture. I want you to comment on that if you have any other thing to do, you want us to look at extensively. But so far so good. This is how far we can go in this 3 method in using what calculator, in designing a calculator application. Okay, we've been able to say, okay, let it give me this output here. If I come here and I say 90 plus 90, okay, instead of me to use plus, I will use x and y. You say enter your operator. You see, it will not show you what a real message, because we are not giving a real message to the what, the application. Okay, by the time when I say 90 plus 90 and I use plus here, you see it give me what, 180. Okay, yeah, this is what it will return. Okay, now we've been able to get this value here. That is what we've been able to solve. You see that the application now is working. We use the function method. We use the normal variable definition method. We also use what, normal key input method without function. And we've been able to see that the application is working perfectly well. Thank you for your time. I urge you to subscribe to my channel, comment on the comment section, like the video, share as many as you can, and don't forget to suggest for any other topic that you want us to look at together. Thank you.